Good evening. I hope that you enjoyed the 10 paintings that we investigated and listed. So this will be an agenda video in which I will describe the plans for the rest of the day and tomorrow. With regards to art. So first of all, so yes, some people say that rolling the paintings is not correct. Of course, it's far from optimal. But they were not rolled during all the time that I lived in Shoam in my own apartment. They were stored on the same frames, like wooden frames, where I painted like the paintings on it. That's the best way. But since August 2022, I am homeless. I lived in my mother's apartment, later under arrest, and now in a hostel for homeless people. This space that you see here is everything that I have. It's impossible not to, and I didn't have like much more than that in my mother's apartment. It's impossible not to roll it, and I know that it's not optimal. And actually, now that I inspected some of them, I've seen that some are actually, especially those that are very heavy, like this one from the Rule of Satan. Series, and the Brazilian flag. They were actually a little bit there are actually minor damages because of the rolling, but it seems that not irreversible one. So what I will do in the following days is that I will repackage all of the paintings. Still, most will be rolled because I don't have a place. I wish I had, but I don't have where to put it. So most will stay rolled. But yes, the ones that are the heaviest, like and that I'll buy a kappa. Kappa is like a hard surface that you can put like stuff like a painting on it. And so I'll buy several kappas this week, and the heaviest one I will stretch it over the kappa, similar to what I've done with this one, the golden one, and hopefully it will be restored, and I will keep it stored that way. In case that the damage will be permanent in any way, if I will, either I will not sell it, or maybe I will sell it. I will just specify that for whoever that buys it, that there is like a damage. But probably, I guess that it's not like permanent because from whatever that I've seen, it's like just creases that with like after a couple of hours it started to flatten, and even with these ones that are very heavy, it's already starting to become flat. So it's not like permanent damage. But yes, these ones should not be stored rolled. It was a mistake, but. So maybe like 10 of the whole, like something like 100 that I have here, will be stored stretched over like a material, like hardwood or kappa, but the rest will stay rolled, and not much to do about it. But it's not. It doesn't do much damage, like noticeable damage. Like for most of the paintings, you don't see any problem. But it's only problem with the very, very, very heavy ones. Yes. I'm not the first to roll like canvases. It's actually and canvases are actually rolled better than actually even paper. It might sound like unintuitive, but I have already experience with both. And actually, when you paint on paper, which is something that I almost never do now, but it was done mostly in the beginning. On the papers actually roll much less successfully than canvases. It's one of the advantages of canvas that, especially if it's like a quality one. And I don't buy like the top quality canvas, but I bought like. I try to buy like good ones, like not like the best, but in the market, but pretty good ones. And I think that they prove themselves because several of the paintings were like, I mean, tortured by, like, I mean, they bombarded with electricity attacked and water and like rainfalls like for all nights, and I mean, and dust storm, and I mean, you can't imagine. And actually they look pretty well now, surprisingly so. And in addition to all of that, they look well and like perfectly fine. You can actually, they all in addition to that, they all also, I mean, it appears that, I mean, a colony of nanobots, of microbots, was actually thriving inside of these paintings and created all sort of like alien life forms, like probably many thousands of these life forms, if not millions. This is literally true. I mean, while it was like subjected to storms and rainfalls and dust and electricity attacks. This is so. I mean, I would say this is a good, like, I mean, a good pitch for I mean, painting on canvases and not compromising like with paper, even thick paper. Like, like, I mean, if you want to paint with acrylic or oil or both, I mean, you should, like, I mean, spend like open the pocket and spend like the money that is needed like for good canvases. It will I mean, it will worth it. I mean, especially if you intend like to torture your paintings like in all possible ways known to humans, and also to create alien colonies and robotic colonies on the paintings. It sounds like a joke, but it's literally true. So there's a question of where actually will I list it. So, as I said, whoever wants to buy it should take, I mean, the only way to do it is to just come here and take it from me. This is a totalitarian state. If I will send it in any kind of courier, the Israelis will take, I mean, it will not reach its destination. At least not in the same way that it left. And that's just the way it is. And so, how do I plan to actually sell it? So, I have a site, I need to work on it. The problem, like the Nero's Art and Science, again, if the site is not available to anyone, tell me. I mean, I need to know such a things, but it should be the Nero's Arts and Science .wordpress.com should be available to anyone. But I need to work on the sites, and I will do it. The problem is that I don't have desktop, but maybe I'll use desktop of the hostel. I don't have any other option because I mean, it's very difficult to work on the site like in using iPad. I've done it. It's very difficult. So I'll use I need a desktop computer. So why not eBay or any other auction site? Because I do not trust auctions, and at least not until I sell paintings like that, and I see that, I mean, actual people like buy it and like pay money. And I mean, I'm extremely suspicious because I'm hunted, like I'm a fugitive, I'm like a prey animal. The Israeli hunt me for so long that, I mean, that's reality. That's my reality for years. That's what they do. They don't want me to have any money at all. They want me to be their slave. I mean, I have no rights here. I have no human rights, no civil rights, nothing, no liberties at all. I am a prey animal, like I'm hunted animal, and this is not a democracy. It's a totalitarian dictatorship, and people, and I have no rights at all. This is a fact. It's just a fact of life. I cannot trust auctions, and you yourself, you know that. I mean, my internet connection is is manipulated by the Israelis. I mean, only after some, I mean, I would see that actually the paintings, actually people buy it and like in like good price and not like in ridiculous prices. Maybe I will be more open to the possibility of auction, either like auction in eBay style or auction with a third party auction house, which cannot be done in Israel because it's a totalitarian state. So this can only be done if I can leave Israel. And this was actually one of the plans last December. I've spoken about it in Twitter, but again, 3 days after I received my passport, the passport issued, the police arrested me for a ridiculous allegation, and I'm still under arrest for these allegations after all this time. This is a totalitarian state, and I am their slave. That's the fact. So what I should do is like open a bank. Open the site to like transfers, like to. The site is open. The site is open, but I need to create like a mechanism that will allow people to actually buy stuff, and I will set the price, which will not be low. Why should it be low? Think about it that way. Any rock from the moon, and certainly rock from Mars, is sold like in many millions, if not billions of dollars, and each of these paintings, contains ample evidence. Like maybe I'll speak about it in the next video, but ample evidence for alien life forms, the existence of robotic life forms and alien life forms. Any of these paintings is like full of like many thousands, if not even millions, of like separated robotic and synthetic life forms that are not known to humans in Earth, and are certainly not of Terran, like of Earth's origin. So just this fact alone is should allow a very high price tag for any of these paintings. And also taking into account the fact that actually people can actually use, some people, the Titans can actually use the Neros to gain substantial health boost that it is needed for them. It's okay. Of course, it only makes it more valuable. So I will not sell it cheaply. And I hope that people will actually want to buy it. I know that if people, the problem with such transaction is not the fact that there is no supply, because there is a supply, as you see here, and not due to the fact that there is no demand, because there is demand even in high prices. The problem is, so there is a call from my daughter, so I'll continue in a short while.